Welcome to Health and Wellness. I'm Will, nurse practitioner, and today we're going to be talking about how to become a registered nurse. This is frequently asked, and it's a great career to get into. It can be a lot of hard work and a lot of steps that you have to jump through to become an RN, but once you do, it is totally worth it. Now, before I get started, I do want to emphasize that there are multiple different ways of becoming an RN, and there is not a one-size-fits-all approach to becoming an RN. So the first step you need is to graduate high school or get your GED equivalent. Some RN programs will have certain prerequisites that they want to see that you have taken in high school. They want to see that you've taken basic and advanced math, sciences like biology, chemistry, and physics, as well as English. You can do a quick Google search of universities you might like to attend in the future, look at their admissions page to their nursing program. This will give you a good idea of what they want to see that you have taken in high school to make you a more competitive candidate. Most programs are going to require a certain GPA and SAT score. So you want to do everything you can to increase your GPA as well as do well on the SAT. Extracurricular activities are also a great option and they make you a well-rounded candidate. Now you don't have to be involved in every single sport out there, but they do want to see that you are involved. I didn't play any sports whatsoever for the best, but I was involved in student council and journalism. It wasn't a lot, but it was something. I also recommend that you take AP classes and if possible, test for the AP exam. This can give you college credit and will make your nursing school a little bit easier. And if you want a major application boost, be sure to get real work experience or volunteer experience in the medical field in some capacity. Whether that's being a scribe, a nursing assistant, a personal caregiver, or maybe even an EMT. So the next step you need to do is to choose which type of program you want to go to. So there are two main RN degrees, ADN and BSN. An ADN is a 2-year degree that gives you an associate's degree in nursing, and a BSN is a 4-year degree that gives you a bachelor's of science in nursing. In the ADN, they'll cover essential sciences and primarily focus on your core nursing courses and clinicals. So you're still learning to be a bedside nurse, but you don't have every single class that the BSN has. These are classes like English, statistics, research, evidence-based practice, leadership, ethics, and community health. Now, something to be aware of is ADN is a 2-year degree and many hospitals are kind of trying to phase out the 2-year ADN program, but this is going to be dependent on where you live and what the norm is for your facility. A lot of times magnet hospitals will prefer BSN candidates because they have to have a certain percentage of their nurses have a bachelor's degree or more. So you might have a little bit of a hard time getting a job as an ADN, but it does come with benefits because you'll be done quicker, you'll be able to join the workforce sooner, and make money quicker. A lot of hospitals may have a clause when you get hired to say you need to get your BSN within 5 years or so of starting and working there. And you can do this online, usually over about a year or so. So working full-time while doing that is financially kind of smart, but it's not very feasible for everyone, and BSN is definitely recommended by most. And it does set you up for your future if you want to do more than just be a bedside nurse. So if you want to work in administration, if you want to teach, get into research, or become a nurse practitioner or DNP, get a PhD, all of these you need a BSN first, or most of them you need a BSN first. There really isn't a huge difference of pay between ADN and BSN. You might make a couple dollars more as a BSN depending on where you're working. So once you know which type of degree you want to get, you need to apply and get into those programs. In general, nursing school can be fairly competitive and a lot of people don't realize that. Some people will go to a college undeclared, take some of the classes that they need for nursing school, and then eventually be able to transfer in if they're doing well enough in those classes. So the next step is to actually go through your nursing program. Now these programs are going to consist of nursing courses, science courses, and you will have over 800 to 1,000 hours of clinicals in the hospital learning to be a bedside nurse. Once you graduate, you sit for the NCLEX-RN, which is the certifying examination to prove that you know what you're doing and you're a competent nurse. And then once you're licensed in your state to be an RN, you can start working as a nurse. Now, a lot of nurses will start on a med-surg unit, but some start in ER, ICU, or other specialty units. While a lot of people do recommend starting at least a year on a med-surg type unit, plenty of new grads do start in the ER, ICU, or other higher stress environments. It just means a bigger learning curve, and you might hate your life just a little bit more as a new grad, because even though there's a lot to learn in nursing school, there's so much more to learn at the bedside, and there continues to be more to learn every single day. Even as a nurse practitioner, I find stuff that I'm still constantly learning. And that is why I started my nursing blog in the first place, healthandwellness.org, to really aim at boosting your clinical skills and knowledge. Now, I do quickly want to talk about some alternative ways of becoming an RN. So the first alternative is an accelerated direct entry program. This is for people who already have their bachelor's in something else entirely. It could be art, it could be science, it could be journalism, it could be photography, it could be anything. A lot of times these will have science prerequisites to get into, but once you get into it, it's an accelerated 16 or 18-month program that takes you to becoming a nurse. You can do all your clinicals, you do all your nursing courses in that span of time. Now, these are very intensive, but they're for people who later on in life, you know what, I don't want to be an accountant anymore. I want to be a nurse. And then when they graduate, they do have their BSN. Another option is an LPN to RN program. So if you're already a practicing LPN, you can take an LPN to RN bridge. Now there are both ADN and BSN bridge programs, and these will take you about 1+ year to complete. And the last option I want to talk about is a foreign educated RN. So if you're an RN in another country and went to an accredited university over there, you can apply for your US RN license. Now you need at least 2 years of work experience as an RN in your country, and many states require a foreign educated nurse refresher course, or FEN. English proficiency tests are often needed to be taken and passed, and then you also have to sit for the NCLEX-RN and pass it, just like US nurses. And that's how you become a registered nurse. If you like this kind of content, be sure to like this video and comment down below why you want to become a nurse or why you did become a nurse. Thank you so much for watching. Now get out there and save some lives.